Welcome, guys. I'm back with another one today. I've got excitement galore. Welcome to the 1% Club, and welcome to our channel, the Vigor Warriors channel too. I really love doing these type of things, especially when I'm ramped up today and ramped up. I've been ramped up the last couple months, and I'm ramped up some more today. So thank you guys for donations and contributions and things like that. What a great day today is. And we're going to focus on something again today. So this one, guys, and once again, before I do that, I keep forgetting, but subscribe, comment, like, and you know what to do. Help me in ways we can do it, make this channel better, and we'll try to kind of reach our goals of trying to get more than 1%. Try to get 2-3%. Get a bunch of people involved in this. All right, this one's called the Temple of God, and you are the Temple of God. Your body is the temple of God. Let's talk about this in terms of retention. So we're talking about this, guys. The whole key in a lot of this talking that we're talking about is that you are striving to become, or you should be striving to become the best person you can become under the Lord, under your God. So if this is not the case, then I ask you the question, what are we doing with life? What is our purpose, right? When we look at our purpose of life, what is the purpose of life, right? Is this like a Will Chamberlain sleeping with 10,000 people? Is that the purpose of life? What are you really accomplishing that way? Especially if you're not having children or anything like that, what are you accomplishing, right? And, in the long run, the bottom line is they're not going to ask you how much money you made, because money is a tool, right? They're not going to ask you how much money you made. They're going to ask you what you did for people. What did you do to help people? Right? Do you have kids? What did you do to help your kids? What did you do to help your relationships, your wife, your husband? What did you do with that? Right? This is not something that you're just basically interested in yourself, even though I have lived through this whole me generation that we started back in the 60s. Very self-centered type of thing. And this is, to me, move people away from the God, not to God. And the whole thing is that we look at God. If you're following God, if you really believe in God, and you're really saying, okay, there is a higher being, then you're going to look and say, okay, I'm not going to sit there and put things into my body or do things in my body that are going to hurt my body, because it is a temple. You use it, and the way you use it is not through disuse, right, or disease. You use it through using it in proper ways, right? And God has given you a temple to work with. Now, part of that is obviously keeping your energy, keeping your seed, males, inside of yourself until you're able to either A, procreate, or B, transmute it to other things you're doing. And so much of this, guys, is the whole idea that you're recognizing that what God has given you. You're not interested in self-centered pleasure. This goes back to the me generation again. We've had so much of this stuff, and if you're continuing to be blue-pilled, living in a blue matrix, you're not going to listen to anything I'm saying anyway. You're going to basically go back to all these so-called experts, people who think they know everything, and basically saying, okay, go ahead, fulfill your pleasures, only got one life to live, my life, my way, all this kind of stuff, and you don't realize that a lot of this stuff is nonsense. A lot of this stuff is nonsense. You're not focusing on that. You're focusing on getting short-term pleasure, thinking that it's going to make you happy. Happiness, in my opinion, guys, does not come from short-term happiness, short-term gratification. And I've seen that more and more. The longer I'm on this journey, the longer I see this. The longer I see the idea that your goals, your things you're accomplishing, your long-term plan is all falling into what God wants you to do, your Creator wants you to do. And the longer you sit in your retention, the longer your journey goes, the longer you see this. And the longer you recognize how important it is to be able to be in tune to what's happening. And I think that's such an important type of aspect to think about here, that you're becoming more powerful. And I've said in a couple of videos today, I've never felt so powerful. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable strength and power you have the longer you retain. And I've actually seen a difference now again over the last, 10, 15 days, another, increase. And I'm not sure exactly why. I can't explain a lot of this stuff. I can just tell you how I feel. And I feel like I was back when I was 10, 12 years old, even though I don't have great memories of that. I do remember not releasing. And I do remember a period of time when I did it before I started doing that stuff. And I tell you what, it makes a huge difference in the person. And once again, I've not been sick in a long, long time. And I know a lot of that goes back to the exercise I do with Fountain of Youth. I believe in the chakras. I believe in the middle of your body, all the energy sources you have. I believe in that very strongly. I also believe in God very strongly. And I believe in the journey very strongly. And I believe in retention. I believe in fasting. I believe in these things because the bottom line, guys, is you're trying to get back to your core. You're not going to pollute your body with a bunch of different foods, preservatives. And I remember reading a study the other day talking about the difference between foods back in the 1930s and 40s compared to now. The chemicals, the preservatives in there is unbelievable. There was a funny story that one of my students told me one time about they went into the office and they found some chicken McNuggets sitting there probably 5-6 years later. Believe it or not, the nuggets were the same condition they were 6 years ago. They're all chemicals, right? So what do you put in your body? Chemicals. Same thing with medicine, guys. I know we're going through situations right now, but the fact of the matter is that your body, and God's given you bodies to be stronger than we think they are. Now, do we need scientific medicine at times? Sure we do. There's things that God is using it. Christian Science is a great example, that you're using tools. Mary Baker Eddy, who founded the whole Christian Science approach, realizes a combination between faith and science when used properly. That's great. But the idea, guys, is that, and I saw this with friends of mine, I saw this with my dad, taking 8-9 pills a morning. That is not good for you. The side effects of those things are numerous. And so you have to realize, in my mind at least, this is my opinion, that your body is a temple. God has given you a body for a certain reason. Do not pollute it. Keep it as pure as you can. Now, are we going to have problems? Yes. I mean, we have, of course, I still have a sugar problem at times. I have to be careful of that. I have to be careful of eating fatty foods at times. I have to be careful of some of these type of things. Right? And I'm not talking to be totally go, vegetarian or these type of things. That whatever your choice is, you do that. Whatever you feel that's important, do that. But the bottom line is, remember, your temple, your body is something you're going to use. It's like a Ferrari, right? You're going to continue to keep your body in the peakest conditions it can be. You're not going to bog it down to all kinds of other types of things that it's going to hurt your body. And that's the important thing when it comes to trying to use your body as a successful tool. And I think we have to be aware of this as we focus on these type of things that are going to make you a better, more efficient person. And that one of these keys is realizing that you've got to take care of yourself. And those are the types of temple, your body is that temple that you need to nourish. You need to make sure it's strong. You got to make sure that you're going to stay powerful. So obviously, releasing is something you're never going to do. The only way you're going to do this is if you're with somebody and you're going to have kids with somebody and you're going to procreate. That's the only time that you would release. In my viewpoint, this is my opinion. Right? I think otherwise, you're basically kind of saying, okay, I'm going to develop myself. I'm going to be the best person I can be right now. And I'm going to work on myself. I'm not going to worry about women. I'm not going to chase. Remember, guys, as you get older, you become more successful. Don't worry about romance, relationships, all those things. Those things will come to you. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If you become successful, you'll have more people interested in you that you will believe, that you don't even want. And I see this happen, even me, even a married guy, all over the place, right? It's a matter of that when you're on your goal and your purpose, you're not being distracted. You're not moving away. Your body is using yourself like a Ferrari. And yes, people are going to stare at you. People are going to talk to you. People are going to come up to you with these googly eyes and all kinds of stuff. But the bottom line is you're going to stay focused. Stay focused. My friends, my warriors, my friend warriors, stay focused. And remember that everything you do to your body has an effect. And you want to make sure that you're doing the best job you can. Now, are we all going to fall back? Yes, just like in relapsing. We relapse when it comes to taking care of ourselves as well. Exercise, obviously important, right? Taking care of yourself, doing the right types of things is important as well. But I believe that, and let me give you a great example. Okay, this happens to me when I used to get colds a lot. I noticed that the worst thing to do is when you have a cold is to eat. Now, why is that? Well, I was explained to me at some point is when you're eating, your body can't really spend all its time fighting the disease. What it's doing, it's fighting more of the, it's eating and digesting the food. So if you're expecting to get better faster, you need to fast or need to just drink liquids. And that's why they always recommend drink liquids. Because what you're doing is flushing that disease out of you. And so anytime I end up getting something that I think might be a sore throat or sniffles or something, I hit the fast for a few hours. And what happens? Well, then I get stronger. And because all of a sudden now your body is now taking the time to spend on other things. I just think that sometimes, guys, we get so indulgent. And this society is indulgent, right? We get so indulgent in food and liquor and smoking and all these other types of things that the body can't work fast enough to help you, right? Which is why we get things like diabetes and all kinds of stuff that was never a huge problem back in the old days, right? Because people didn't have this type of, chemical sugars and all kinds of things you put in your bodies. So the thing is, guys, always remember that your body is a tremendous functioning temple. And it can take a lot of things and make them better. And if you want to feel better in yourself and you want to go ahead and be the type of person you want to be, then always remember to take care of that temple and not to put in any sorts of medicines, foods, doing anything, releasing any types of things that are going to make it a worse temple than it should be. And this way, you're going to go ahead and be the type of person that you can kind of accomplish goals, be on your purpose, and your journey will not have a bunch of bumps into them. All right, guys, until next time, battle on.